Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another update video. As you can see, I've been working on the Honda. I've been doing a little bit of paint correction, and I popped out, or I beat out the major portion of the dents in the rear. So this was all smashed in pretty bad. I was able to tap it out from the inside. As you can see, that's still going to need some repair there. I also started buffing out the paint on just this side of the car. That took quite a while, several hours just to do that section. I would come to parts, areas like this where they had sprayed just a small patch, and the old paint is so much darker than the original paint that it would look awful. So I'd have to buff it, use some rubbing compound to get the paint off, and then some acetone to get the primer off, and then more rubbing compound. It took quite a while, but I did that area. And there was an area here. You can actually see this is partially what they had painted, but I burnt through the paint some there as well when I was buffing off the old paint. But overall, it looks pretty good. Like I've said many times, I'm not going to paint this car. I like the patina look. I am going to treat areas like this with a rust reformer, and then maybe I'll try to keep a good coat of wax on the car to help prevent the rust from spreading. But you can see the rest of the car, the condition. Oh, the wheels. So my last video on this car was me painting the wheels. Since then, I've had the new tires mounted on them, and then I've just stuck them on the car loosely just so I can see how they look. I'll be pulling them off soon to start working on the brakes. I also started painting some of the engine bay. Everything that's black used to be pretty rusty, so I went over with some POR15. I'm not going to pull the body off of the frame, even though that's not that hard of a thing to do on this car, but I am going to try to paint as much of the frame as I can get to. So I've done this from above, but I will eventually go underneath the car and paint as much of the frame with the POR15 as I can. But anyways, good progress on the body. Also, some exciting news that just happened minutes ago is that I got the pistons for the Honda. I ordered these from JP Pistons, and that was really the only place I could find the standard size. And then since then, I've been messaged by someone on Facebook saying, avoid JP Pistons, they're awful. So I'm not sure what to think at this point, but I've already bought them. They're quite expensive. They had to be made to order, so I'm going to use them and I guess just hope for the best. I did do a test fit here. This is one of the sleeves from the engine, and this is the piston with the rings on it. I don't know if I can pull it out with one hand, but you can see here there's a little bit of surface rust. I'm gonna have to hone the cylinders one more time right before I put it all back together. But the piston fits nicely, and the rings fit as they should. Seems like that's kind of unnecessary, but anyways, hopefully those are going to work out. I also got most of the seals needed to put the engine back together, so hopefully pretty soon I'm going to start getting the engine back together. I have also tested the valves. I seated those in one of the previous videos, so I filled each one of these with gasoline and let it set for quite a while to see if they leak. And they do leak. Not all of them, but a few of them do still leak. So I'm going to be pulling some of those out and trying again to get those to seat properly before I put the head on. But I'll probably assemble the lower end of the engine first anyways with those pistons. I don't know. Either way, it'll all be at relatively the same time. But everything's coming together pretty well for that. So I should have the engine back together pretty soon and see if it'll at least turn over. And of course, then I've got to start on the carburetors. I haven't even taken those apart yet, but they're gonna have to be rebuilt. The brakes, of course, have to be done. The whole fuel system on the car. I'm sure the gas tank is full of all kinds of nasty stuff. So I'm still a ways away from being able to run the engine or especially drive that car. Also, the Speedster. This is very close to being finished. I got the new steering wheel on. I have tried to adjust the carburetor that's on it, but I'm pretty sure it has the wrong size jets, and I'm not positive it's the right carburetor. The person who sold me the car had replaced the carburetor right before they sold it, and it's never run correctly since I got it. So I've ordered a different carburetor that should be the correct one, and I'm also getting a few extra sets of jets. So I should be able to get it to tune properly. Right now it starts and idles perfect, but there's, it cuts out. It's like a huge cutout as soon as you try to accelerate. So when you try to take off from a stop, it cuts out and wants to die, has no power. And then when you get to a higher RPM, then it runs fine, or at idle it runs fine. But in the middle, it's starving for fuel, or it's getting way too much fuel, probably starving for fuel. So anyways, it's getting close. Hopefully that carburetor is going to fix it. I think it's supposed to be here today or tomorrow. So in the next few days, I hope to have it running properly. And then I'm going to do, I've got an idea for a nice driving video with this one. And then I'll be listing it for sale. The Corvair is still currently listed for sale on eBay. I started that auction at $1. There's no reserve. It's only up to around $1,700 or $1,800 now. And that'll end tomorrow. So if you're interested in that car, now's the time to bid on it. The Land Cruiser, I made some progress on this one as well since the last update video, and I posted the video on it. I got the shocks back on. I got the tie rods back on, the steering box. Off camera, I redid the knuckle on this side. I've also replaced the brake lines and the shackles to bring it back down to stock height. I'm going to start out at stock height with this, and then if I feel like I need to raise it, then I'll look into my options. I don't think these are the stock springs, so it may still have a little bit of a lift even though I took out those shackles. But I'm going to get it as close to stock as I can and see how it does with these tires. And then if I need to lift it up a little bit, I can. I like to have them as close to stock as possible just because I feel like they generally drive and handle better once you put a lift kit on them. On any kind of truck, then it oftentimes doesn't drive nearly as well. But okay, so that's it for these. The Bushmaster's still out there. Nothing's happening with that. I still need an engine for it. But so that's the projects I've been working on. Thanks guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And please subscribe, like, and share the videos. And I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.